You know his name, Chucky, the pint-sized doll with a butcher knife and a bad attitude. Since 1988, Child's Play has haunted toy aisles, sleepovers, and horror fans everywhere. But behind the scenes of this cult classic are strange stories, near disasters, and bizarre details that even lifelong fans don't know.
Come on, look, it's as dead as they come, it's dead!
So stick around until the very end, because fact number 27 reveals a disturbing secret about Chucky's voice that will give you chills.
So long, John.
Fact 1. The movie was originally called Batteries Not Included. Before Child's Play had its iconic title, the script was called Batteries Not Included, but Steven Spielberg was already making a film with the same name, so the title had to change. The next working title? Blood Buddy. Imagine trying to market Blood Buddy to toy stores. Fact 2. Chucky's full name comes from real killers. Chucky's full name, Charles Lee Ray, is a mashup of 3 real-life killers: Charles Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, and James Earl Ray. By combining them, Mancini gave his plastic doll a serial killer's pedigree before he even spoke a line. But wait until fact number 5, where you'll hear the truly bizarre original idea for how Chucky came to life. Fact 3. The script was born from consumer madness. Original writer Don Mancini wrote Child's Play after watching America descend into Cabbage Patch Kid hysteria. Parents were fistfighting in toy aisles, shelling out huge money just to get dolls. Mancini thought it was both hilarious and terrifying, so he wrote a satire about a doll so popular it might actually kill you. In his mind, Chucky wasn't just a monster, he was the dark side of capitalism in overalls. Fact 4. Andy Barclay was almost played by a different kid. 6-year-old Alex Vincent became Andy Barclay, the innocent child whose love for his doll turns deadly. But casting wasn't easy. Dozens of kids auditioned, and most read their lines too stiff or too polished. Mancini wanted someone who felt real. Alex wasn't the best reader, but when he cried during auditions, it was so genuine that everyone in the room felt it. That raw vulnerability sealed the role. Fact 5. Chucky originally came alive through blood. In the early drafts, Chucky wasn't possessed by a serial killer. Instead, Andy mixed his blood with the doll's latex skin, making them blood brothers. Whenever Andy was angry, Chucky acted out his aggression. It was more psychological horror than supernatural slasher. And if you think that's creepy, wait until fact number 9, where you'll hear just how many people it actually took to bring Chucky to life on screen. Fact 6. Brad Dourif wasn't the first choice for Chucky's voice. The studio originally wanted a bigger name to voice Chucky, even considering John Lithgow. But when Brad Dourif auditioned, his sinister, manic energy blew everyone away. His voice became so iconic that nobody else could ever replace him. Fact 7. The first cut was too funny. When they screened an early version, audiences laughed in the wrong places. Chucky came across more comedic than scary. The team had to re-edit scenes and tweak Dourif's delivery to strike the perfect balance of terror and dark humor. Fact 8. The animatronic doll was a technical nightmare. The Chucky puppet was incredibly advanced for the 1980s, but also wildly unpredictable. Servos jammed, wires shorted out, and sometimes Chucky moved on his own without anyone controlling him. Crew members said working with him felt cursed. Fact 9. It took up to 11 people to operate Chucky. Every movement, eyes, mouth, hands, eyebrows, required separate operators. One puppeteer controlled the head, another the arms, another the facial expressions. Coordinating Chucky was like conducting an orchestra of horror. Fact 10. Catherine Hicks married the effects guy. Actress Catherine Hicks who played Andy's mom, fell in love with special effects supervisor Kevin Yeager during filming. The two got married in 1990, and they're still together today. Chucky may have ruined Andy's family, but he created a real one. Fact 11. The crew used a real child in a Chucky costume. For wide shots, where animatronics looked awkward, they dressed a little person or even a child in a Chucky costume to run down hallways. If you re-watch closely, you can sometimes spot the difference. Fact 12. Chucky's design was based on real dolls. The Good Guy doll is basically a mashup of the My Buddy dolls and Cabbage Patch Kids. After the movie's release, the makers of My Buddy weren't happy about the resemblance, especially since their product now reminded kids of a knife-wielding killer. Fact 13. Hicks's daughter has a cameo. During production, Catherine Hicks brought her infant daughter to set. If you look carefully in one of the crowd shots, you'll actually see her. It's one of those blink-and-you'll-miss-it Easter eggs that even hardcore fans often overlook. Fact 14. Chucky's movements were based on child psychology. The puppeteers studied the way children moved, slightly off balance, quick bursts of motion, and programmed Chucky to mimic those awkward patterns. That's why his movements feel uncanny and unsettling. Fact 15. The film almost got an X rating. The MPAA originally threatened to slap the movie with an X rating due to its violence. The team trimmed gore and re-edited some of Chucky's most brutal kills to avoid being banned from theaters. But wait until fact number 19, where you'll find out how audiences accidentally turned Chucky into a cult hero. Fact 16. The fire scene was dangerous. The sequence where Chucky is set on fire used a real stunt doll covered in flames. At one point, the fire got out of control and nearly spread to the set. Crew members scrambled to put it out before it destroyed the entire stage. Fact 17. Don Mancini didn't direct his own creation until years later. Mancini wrote the original film, but wasn't allowed to direct. Studios didn't trust a first-time filmmaker with animatronics that cost thousands of dollars per minute to operate. He wouldn't get the director's chair until Seed of Chucky in 2004. Fact 18. The film was shot in Chicago's winter cold. Many exterior shots were filmed in Chicago's freezing December weather. Alex Vincent later recalled being bundled up between takes, but still shivering during scenes. The city's gritty look added realism to the film. Fact 19. Test screenings made Chucky a star. Originally, Chucky was meant to stay hidden until late in the film, but test audiences loved him so much that MGM pushed for more doll action earlier in the story. Their reactions transformed Chucky into the film's breakout star. Fact 20. Chucky wasn't supposed to talk so much. In early drafts, Chucky barely spoke. He was supposed to be mostly silent, like Michael Myers. But once Brad Dourif came on board, his line delivery was so good, they rewrote the script to give Chucky more dialogue. Fact 21. Real weapons were used on set. For close-ups, they strapped real blades into Chucky's tiny hands. That meant puppeteers were manipulating actual knives just inches from actors. Everyone had to be extremely careful. One wrong twitch, and things could have ended badly. And speaking of danger, wait until fact number 23 to hear about the lawsuit claiming Chucky inspired a real-life murder. Fact 22. The studio almost scrapped it. Executives were nervous the film would flop. Killer dolls. They thought audiences would laugh, but the budget was relatively small, so they reluctantly gave it the green light. To their surprise, it grossed over $44 million worldwide and became one of the biggest hits of the year. Fact 23. Chucky was blamed for a real murder. In the UK, two young boys were accused of killing another child in 1993. The defense claimed they were inspired by Child's Play 3. The film was dragged through the media as a corrupting influence, though no evidence actually linked it. Fact 24. The Good Guy doll boxes were handmade. Every single Good Guy doll box in the toy store scenes was handcrafted by the art department. There were no CGI duplicates or mass-produced props. Each one was individually painted and designed. Fact 25. A scene was cut for being too traumatizing. One deleted scene had Andy trapped in a morgue while Chucky terrorized him. Test audiences found it way too disturbing, especially since it involved such a young child, so the studio pulled it before release. Fact 26. Alex Vincent still owns Chucky props. Alex Vincent loved working on the film so much that he kept some Good Guy props after filming Wrapped. To this day, he still appears at horror conventions, bringing the doll with him, which makes fans lose their minds. Fact 27. Brad Dourif's recording sessions were brutal. Dourif had to scream, growl, and cackle for hours while recording Chucky's dialogue. He shredded his voice so badly he could barely speak for days. But that raw strain is exactly what made Chucky sound terrifying. So every time you hear Chucky snarl, "Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?" that pain in his voice was 100% real.
Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?
Which shocked you the most? The Blood Brother origin, the lawsuit blaming Chucky for murder, or the fact that it took 11 people to operate one doll? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if you'd survive a night with Chucky, and don't forget to subscribe for more horror deep dives. And remember, next time you see a doll smiling at you, check the batteries.